Welcome to the Koru Connections podcast. Today we're diving deep into working with estate agents as a way to source properties.
Yeah,
It's a hot topic that really shakes things up in the property scene.
absolutely. It's interesting to see how building relationships with estate agents might give you that edge in finding the right property.
Right? And, one of the key points is all about actually building those human connections. Like, it's not just about handing over a request, it's about forging a relationship.
Yeah, exactly. You have to tell them what you want, right? And that sort of openness can lead to them really understanding your needs.
For sure. And what's really cool is that when you do that, estate agents who might not be used to such detailed feedback start to see your perspective.
True, they get trained to handle feedback after viewings too, which is kind of a win-win. I mean, they refine their approach while you, as the buyer, get a more tailored experience.
Exactly. It's like you're not just passively waiting for opportunities. You're engaging actively. And estate agents eventually know that you're serious about what you need. Almost like you're a regular client, even if you're new.
Yep. But here's something I always wonder. Isn't it a bit challenging if they're not used to getting that sort of feedback? I mean, could they misinterpret your hints?
Interesting point. Yes. Initially, they might be a bit thrown off.
I see.
They typically follow a more standard approach, but once you break that pattern with thoughtful insights, they adapt. It sometimes takes a little time before the mutual understanding clicks.
That's true. And it's kind of like learning a language together. You both develop your own shorthand over time.
Exactly. It's like when you meet someone new and you both start with the basics, then gradually move to deeper conversations. Over time, that's what makes the difference.
And speaking of time, once the relationship is established, the feedback process after each viewing becomes a powerful tool. By telling them what you liked or didn't, you help shape future property suggestions.
Yeah, which is really essential. It brings a level of personalization to what might otherwise be a very cookie-cutter experience. And estate agents also get a chance to improve their service along the way.
Right on. I like to think of it as a loop, a cycle of feedback, adjustment, and then even better matches down the line.
Absolutely, it's this continuous feedback loop. But some might say, isn't it too time-consuming to establish this kind of rapport?
Interesting. I mean, can't you just use online listings or property portals for a quick fix?
True, you could rely solely on online listings, but there's something to be said for the insider insight that a well-connected estate agent can provide. It's like having a friend in high places who whispers, "Hey, check out this property before it hits the market."
Yeah, totally. I totally get that. There's this element of exclusivity, almost like getting a sneak peek into opportunities others might miss.
Right. And that's a great example of why the relationship matters. Even if it takes a little longer at the start, the rewards can really
Absolutely.
pay off.
But hey, let's challenge one thing here. Aren't there risks that estate agents might, lean towards listings that give them a bigger commission rather than truly matching your needs?
Yeah, that's a fair concern. And while that can happen, if you maintain that transparency and discuss your criteria clearly, you can sort of steer the conversation. It's like clarifying up front that your focus is finding the right fit, not just the flashiest or easiest sale.
True. And honestly, if an estate agent is really doing their job right, they'd value your input over chasing commission-driven leads. Wouldn't you say?
Definitely. When both parties are committed to the process, the agent's incentive aligns with finding a property that truly matches your aspirations.
Right. Plus, the feedback after a viewing helps recalibrate their approach every time. So even if they start off a bit mismatched, they can adjust quickly, right?
Exactly. It becomes a learning process, both for you and the agent. With every feedback session, you're both evolving, and that evolution can help you get to the property that's a perfect fit.
Yes, indeed. It kind of feels like a dance, doesn't it? Both parties learning the rhythm and stepping in sync over time.
I love that analogy. It's like dancing to a tune only you two can hear. Early on, you might step on each other's toes, but eventually you move in perfect harmony.
However, what if an estate agent is too set in their methods and resists this two-way feedback?
That's a real possibility. Some might be so used to a one-sided approach that they can dismiss your input. It basically highlights why it's important as a client to stick with someone who values mutual communication.
Right. And if you encounter resistance, I guess it might be time to politely challenge their approach or consider another agent who understands the value of collaboration.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that balance and not being afraid to assert your requirements. Ultimately, it's your journey to finding the right property.
Indeed. So to wrap it up, for anyone listening out there, working with estate agents can be a great way to source properties, provided you're willing to build real, genuine relationships and communicate openly.
Exactly. It's an investment in both the search process and the relationship that underpins it. When done right, it opens a door to opportunities that might otherwise pass you by.
Well, that certainly gives us a lot to think about. Thanks for the lively chat. And here's to finding that perfect property with the help of a trusted, communicative estate agent.
Yes, cheers to that, and thanks for tuning in to this episode of Koru Connections. Stay connected and keep building those meaningful relationships.
Right, absolutely.